We are about to get underway here at the University of Concordia in Irvine. It's the home team, Orange County Riptide, against the visiting Ventura Halos. Thank you for tuning into the OC Riptide Network. My name is Michael Hofling, ready to take you through 9 innings of Riptide baseball. The Riptide are 2-2 on the season. They are 1-2 on the season. The Ventura Halos are 3-1, coming off of a 2-game win streak currently. First pitch of the game, high and outside with the fastball, ball one. Today's starting pitcher for the Riptide is going to be number 12, Sam Miller. Second pitch, up high with another fastball, that's ball two. Sam Miller, a sophomore from Central Arizona Junior College. For the Vaqueros this past year, he made 6 appearances, went 1-1 with a 6.43 ERA. But he's continuing to develop. Swung on and fouled back into the chain link fence, 2-1. He's continuing to develop, and he has really got a good game going. Uses that tall, lanky frame to really get his arm high and whip the ball down toward the plate. He's got a good action, very fluid and technically sound motion. The 2-1 pitch. Swung and fouled back once again to the right side. This one's 2-2. The count is even. The lineup for the Halos, leading off and playing left field, is going to be Christopher May. Up next after him will be Rudy Aguilar, and Christian Jones, Dalton Duarte, Joey Mendez, Nick Lacayo. The 2-2 pitch outside, ball 3. In the 7th spot, it's going to be Michael Tillman, followed by Charles Steele, and in the 9th spot, Brian Ginsberg. So the first bat of their game brings us to a full count. Coming off of a loss against the Santa Barbara Foresters. Up high, ball 4, and the leadoff man is on with a walk. That's going to bring up Rudy Aguilar, the shortstop for the Halos today. Lost to the Foresters yesterday. It was hard fought. Score was 6-1 going into the top of the 6th inning. And they stormed back. They got 2, brought to within 3. Score ended up 7-4 in favor of the Foresters, but that doesn't detail how well the Riptide played. Despite a couple key errors, they might have won that game. In fact, only 4 of the Foresters' runs were earned. There's an off-speed pitch right down Broadway, 0-1. That was the first game that the Foresters have played all year at Pershing Park. And to move away from Santa Barbara City College due to the coach not wanting anybody to play over the summer. A fastball right at the letters, 0-2. The runner on first is Christopher May. May is a junior. He's not sure what college he's going to go to next year. And the 0-2 pitch, a slider down low. Nice movement, great hook, but a better eye from Aguilar. Aguilar last year spent his time at Ventura Junior College, so he's right at home here with the Halos. Halos play at Ventura Junior College. Here's a ground ball to the shortstop, Phillip. 6-4-3, just how you draw it up. The double play negates the leadoff walk, and Sam Miller has worked his way out of that leadoff walk. Now there's 2 outs and nobody on for Christian Jones. Your defensive lineup for the Riptide this afternoon. From left to right, it's Aaron Greenfield, Joey Parente, and David Miranda. Greenfield making his second start of league play. Parente and Miranda have started all 4 games. And then from third to first, it's Wagaman, Phillip, Will Proctor, and Logan Polson. Swung on and missed a big hack, 0-1. Behind the plate, it's going to be Jake Pulchin. He'll be in the squat, putting down the signs. And as I said, on the mound is Sam Miller, making his first start of the year. The 0-1 pitch. Big swing and miss once again, a Yuckadoo hack, 0-2. This is the same infield that the Riptide put out yesterday against the Foresters. A key error by Wagaman allowed an unearned run to come in. A fastball down low, bounces off the mask of Polchin. Somebody that the Riptide are missing, Cooper Ohl. He usually plays second base or catcher. He's done that. He did that for the first 2 games. The opening game of league play against the Arroyo Seco Saints, he was playing second base, and then game number 2 against the Foresters, he played behind the plate. Swung and fouled off to the left side, a little dribbler near the on-deck circle for the Riptide. Count remains at 1-2. But in that second game, Ohl took a fastball that bounced in the dirt and got it underneath his chest protector. And he said yesterday he was feeling a little bit dizzy, couldn't make it out to the game yesterday, and he's not in uniform today. We wish all the best of luck. Sam Miller gets him. Grab some Pine, Jones. So a strikeout in the double play for the Riptide. We'll head to the bottom of the first, still 0-0. Welcome back to the University of Concordia in Irvine. I'm Michael Hofling, and we get ready for the Riptide's first turn at bat. Leading it off for the 4th time in 4 games of league play, it's going to be Joey Parente. Very fast, very good defender, very aggressive hitter, likes to swing at the first pitch. That's what he told me in one of our pregame interviews. He said, "I'd love to attack the first pitch, just set the tone early, get on base early." The second baseman Ginsberg playing to the right of second base, just a little bit too far right in my opinion. Playing right in the middle of that 34 hole, leaving a big gap in the middle of the field. However, the shortstop may be playing a little bit to the right as well, expecting Parente to pull from that left-handed side. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball down low, 2-0. Parente being very patient. Although I did say he was aggressive, he also told me that he's not going to swing if it's a ball. But he said any strike he's going to take a hack at on the first pitch. The 2-0 pitch. Swung on, foul tipped into the glove of Lacayo. 2-1. Parente's been pretty stellar out of that leadoff spot. Batting over 270 on the year thus far. Swung on and grounded up the middle. And that's going to get into center field for a base hit. A leadoff single for Parente. That ground ball was right over the glove of Dylan Francis, the pitcher for the Halos. It's the first hit of the afternoon. There's going to be a runner on first for Will Proctor. Lineup for the Riptide, Leading off is Parente. He just got on. Now it's Will Proctor, followed by David Miranda, Eric Wagaman, Logan Polson, Aaron Greenfield, Luke Husung, Jake Polshin, and Bo Phillip. The lineup has stayed relatively the same throughout these first 4 games. The catcher position rotating between Ohl, Andrews, and Polshin. Pickoff attempt there. Parente gets back in safe. No need for a slide. Proctor's got some power from a second base spot. 3 home runs for the University of Georgia's freshman year. Here he swings and hits a hard one down the left field line, but hooking and foul. First pitch strike, it's 0-1. Proctor yet to record a hit. Excuse me, he's actually recorded 1 hit. Did not record a hit in that first game against the Santa Barbara Forcers, but in the second game, he did go 1 for 4 with a triple, or a lot of triples in that game. The 0-1 pitch. Curveball, swung on the hit, foul once again. This one was even farther. So if he can straighten that out, he might put a 2 spot on the board with no one out. But now the count is 0-2. He's got to protect a little bit, maybe expecting some junk. Dylan Francis does have good stuff. Pitching out of Cal Poly Pomona. It's going to be his junior year next year. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball outside, and Parente tries to steal. And they got him. A great throw from Lacayo to Ginsburg. Gets Parente. Parente with a steal on the year in that very first game against the Arroyo Seco Saints, but can't get it there. A good little slide step from Francis in a quick motion. Didn't allow Parente to get the greatest jump. Something that Parente's been doing all year when he's on the base pass is just tormenting the pitcher. Just starting to leave before the pitcher even sets his motion, getting a couple balks. Swung on and drilled into left field. May is underneath it, getting back toward the warning track, and he retires his man for out number 2. So now there's 2 outs and nobody on. David Miranda, arguably the hottest hitter in this Riptide lineup. Comes out of Florida Atlantic University. Miranda has the most RBIs on the Riptide. First pitch is a ball down low with the fastball. 1-0. Last game went 2 for 4 with 2 singles. Has a couple extra base hits. Lines this one back up the middle. Aguilar has it, tosses on over to Duarte for out number 3. So a leadoff single, but then he gets caught stealing. 3 up, 3 down for both teams in the first. We'll head to the second on the OC Riptide Network. Stay tuned. Top of the second now in sunny Southern California. Great day to catch a surf or catch a baseball game. I know for everybody watching the live stream, you enjoy the video, but nothing beats coming out to a live ball game, smelling the dirt and the hot dogs, and getting a taste of live action. First pitch to Dalton Duarte, lined back up the middle for the first base hit for the Halos. And went right past the outstretched right arm of Sam Miller over the mound. So just like the Riptide, the Halos now got a leadoff single. Duarte not really going to steal here, does not have the legs to do that. And Polshin, one of the best defensive catchers in the California Collegiate League. He's going to bring up Joey Mendez. Now Mendez awaits the first pitch, swung on and drilled, popped up on the left side. That was a mile high, but eventually roams out of play to the left side, 0-1. That was the first time this year that a Riptide player has been caught stealing, at least in league play. And Joey Parente getting thrown out trying to take second in the top of the first. Yesterday, the Foresters got caught stealing by the Riptide. That was Mitch Andrews behind the plate, throwing out a potential base stealer. That was the first time they'd done that this year. So it's a runner on first. That's Dalton Duarte. The count is 1-1 after that slider was low and away in the pitch. Swung on and drilled down the left field line, hooking foul, 1-2. That was very hard hit by Mendez. Mendez redshirted last year. It's going to be his freshman year at Fresno State, the Bulldogs. He has a Bulldog mentality, very aggressive, very powerful, despite having a shorter frame. He gets good wood on the ball. .510, 180, and you can tell by those last two hits, he has a ton of pop in the pitch. Down low, count is even at 2-2. Duarte no more than 2 steps off the bag over at first. Polston still holding him on, though. Miller does have a decent pickoff move. Told me he'd been working on that and his whip on his fastball. The 2-2. Swung on, fouled off to the right side and into the French Hill Reserve. So the Riptide splitting that 2-game set with the defending champion Santa Barbara Foresters, winning the first game 9-3 off the back of a 6-run 7th. And then losing yesterday 7-4. Losing pitcher in that one was Blair Lewis. Winning pitcher in that first game was Hunter Biggie. Tanner Murphy started off that first win of the season. 5 great innings. Gave up 3 earned runs. And wiggled his way around trouble. For the most part, was able to dominate the Forester players. This one's drilled down the left field line. Fair. But Greenfield's going to be able to cut it off before it gets far enough. And that's just going to be a single for Mendez. So Mendez works his way through a 2-strike count and gets on base. It's going to be runners at first and second, nobody out for Nick Lacayo, the man who threw out Parente in the bottom of the first. Nick Lacayo, the junior from Michigan State. 5'9", 180. He's got a very good baseball mind. He does his homework. That's what the coaches said about him. He knows hitters' tendencies, and there's not really a way to watch film. You can't go into the locker room and watch film of other teams. He just hears it from word of mouth, what certain hitters like to do. So he calls the game accordingly, and that's a big reason why the Halos are 3-1 on the air, because Lacayo has been able to call a game so well. The 1-0. Slider outside, 2-0 the count runs. 2 singles in this top of the second by Duarte and Mendez. Those are the runners at second and first, respectively. Looking for a double play ground ball like he got in the top of the first. Miller throws, and the slider outside, 3-0. He loves that slider. That is his strikeout pitch, but down 3-0, maybe a fastball count. Waiting on deck. unless the extraordinary triple play happens. It's going to be Michael Tillman. Polshin going out there and talking to his man Miller. Just trying to calm him down, relax him. Remind him that it's early in the game and his offense will back him up. 13 runs through 3 games the Riptide have. They are more than capable than busting a couple of people across the plate. The 3-0 pitch, a changeup on the inside corner. Count is 3-1 now. Zero, 0. 2 hits for the Halos, 1 hit for the Riptide. But trouble brewing. Swung on and fouled straight back. Count runs full. So Miller battling back from 3-0. He's got an opportunity to get his first out of the inning. With Tillman waiting on deck. Tillman, very powerful. Tends to get on top of the ball, though. If you can get 1 out, you can get in a double play situation with runners at first and second. That'd be huge. The 3-2. Swung on and chopped to third base. Wagaman's going to step on third, and nothing else is going to happen. Lacayo is able to beat it out. So Wagaman, knowing he had time with Duarte running from second, he's just going to step on third for the first out. The runners are still at first and second, now with 1 away. And you do put that double play in order. Proctor and Phillip going to line up closer to second base and a little bit farther back for that double play situation. Already turned 1 in this game. Tillman awaiting the first pitch from Miller. Changeup up high. 1-0. Runner at second, Joey Mendez. On first, Nick Lacayo. Trouble brewing here. First time the trouble has brewed all game. We're in the top of the second. Ball outside with the fastball, 2-0. Tillman, a sophomore, 6'4", big man. Swings a big stick. Undecided where he's going to head next year. My brother is in the same situation. Double steal! Polshin can't handle the ball. Juggled it in his hand, and everybody's safe. Now there's runners at second and third. So good call by head coach Jimmy Walker. Walker in his second year with the Halos. And he's been around with the Halos. He's also managed the Halos 17U college development team and the Santa Paula Halos California Collegiate League team. So he is a Halos man. And the 3-0 pitch is outside. That's going to load the bases. And while you never like to put someone on, that does put a double play in order. And Charles Steele comes up to the bat. Head coach Tiger Peterson trying to encourage Miller, telling him to just throw a strike, play catch. So he's got to do here, just relax and realize that it's still 0-0. First pitch, a fastball at the knees, 0-1. Bases are loaded here. 2 singles, a fielder's choice, a double steal, and a walk. That's what got us to this point. There's only 1 out. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and drilled down the right field line, slicing foul. 0-2. So a lot of Riptides fans' hearts stopped there for a moment. Did not want to get down this early. Riptide have not been able to tie a game when they were down. Excuse me. They actually did. So even on an early 3-0, 4-0 disadvantage, They can still find their way to get back into a game. There's a slider. The front door slider gets him looking. Grabs some pine steal. Second strikeout of the game for Jones. That one looking. It's going to bring up Brian Ginsberg, number 9 hitter. And Miller in a much easier situation now. The bases are still loaded, but with 2 away, doesn't make much of a difference. Just got to get the hitter out. Infield lined up at regular depth now. First pitch. Fastball just inside, 1-0. Something I was told by pitching coach Marcus Pointer and Tanner Murphy after the first win against the Foresters was that a lot of pitchers have the philosophy that you just throw fastball, fastball, fastball until the opposing team has proven that they can hit it. We've seen a couple sliders from Miller. He's given up 2 singles, but still, there's a 2-seam fastball on the outside corner, 1-1. Miller's still throwing a lot of fastballs. The Halos really haven't proven that they can hit it. They've proven that they can get wood on it. And maybe just a little bit of luck, it goes Miller's way. And the bases are unloaded. It's bottom of the second right now. Both of Miller's strikeouts have come on that slider. A 1-1 pitch. Way inside with a 2-seam fastball. That actually grazed the jersey of Ginsberg, and that's going to bring a run home. The Riptide lead the league in hit batsmen. In fact, in their 2-game set against the Foresters, they hit the first baseman Bankston 3 times. And due to that, he leads the league in numbers of times hit by a pitch. So with that, we see our first run of the game. There's still 2 away, and the bases are still loaded. Swung on and drilled to left field. Greenfield heading back, and he's not going to get this one. This one's going to bounce up off the wall. Greenfield finally gets to it. Heading around third, and 3 are going to score on the bases loaded double from Christopher May. And Miller, after a walk and a hit by pitch, put him in a bad situation. The double drives them all home, and that makes you pay. So still with 2 away and a runner on second, still in scoring position for Rudy Aguilar. Second time he's come to bat in 2 innings. First time up into a 6-4-3 double play. Double play is not in order here, though. With 2 away, fastball down low, 1-0 the count. So the bases clearing double puts the Halos up 4-0. And Aguilar lines this one into right field. Miranda tries to get it, bobbles it a little bit, tosses home, and it's not in time. Christopher May stands up, and that's a single from Aguilar and an RBI. And already the Riptide bullpen going. Will Tomlinson out there. Will Tomlinson in the top 10 in the CCL and ERA after pitching 3 shutout innings against the Arroyo Seco Saints. He was lights out in that game. Miller having a little bit of difficulty here. And now Tiger Peterson's going to go out and talk to him. Excuse me, that's Marcus Pointer, the pitching coach. Peterson still in the dugout. Pointer got a very good baseball mind. And he is so well respected by this Riptide team. He communicates with them well. Very short meeting out on the mound. Trying to calm him down, give him a little bit of rest. There's a runner on first. 5 runs across, and this the top of the second with 2 outs. And all 5 of the runs have come with 2 outs. First pitch to Jones. Fastball low and away, 1-0. So after a 3-up, 3-down first inning from Miller, he's struggling here a little bit. Maybe if he can find this way out, limit the bleeding, the Riptide will try to pick him up in the bottom of the second. 1-0 pitch, low and outside once again with a two-seam fastball. It's 2-0. Polson holding on Aguilar, the shortstop, very speedy. The 2-0. Swung on and drilled into the 56 hole. That's a base hit again. It's going to be runners on first and second now for Dalton Duarte. They have officially batted around. Duarte led off this same top of the second with a base hit and only made it to second before Wagaman was able to step on third via fielder's choice off the bat of Nick Lacayo. Still 2 away, 2 on. Sam Miller trying to work his way out of a troubling second inning. First pitch is a fastball, down low, 1-0. That base hit was a line drive into right field. 1-0 pitch. Check swing, but they're going to say he went around on that fastball high and outside. Count is even at 1. They can afford to be patient now, wait for their pitch. Try to extend this league, try to work off of the probably nervous Sam Miller. And the ball's in the dirt. They're going to try to take second and third. And they do. The throw from Polshin went to second because Jones got off to a late start. Aguilar was already at third by the time Polshin got it, but Jones got off to a late start and they had a chance to get him. He didn't slide, but it was just too late. Now there's an open first base, runners at second and third after the double steal. Count is 2-1. Duarte waiting the pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. Count is even at 2. Twos are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Due up next inning for the Riptide is going to be Wagaman, Polson, and Greenfield. They're going to look to cut into this 5-run deficit. And as my dad says, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. This one's fouled off the end of the bat. Count remains at 2-2. Tomlin still warming up in the Riptide bullpen. This appears to be Miller's inning, though. The 2-2 is down low in the dirt. Got by Polshin, but not far enough for any of the runners to advance. Count's full now. Waiting on deck is Joey Mendez. First run of the game scored for the Halos. That was in the second inning. He singled his last time up. Miller trying to get out of it right now, though. He does not want to put Duarte on. Load the bases once again. The pitch. Swung on and drilled to the second baseman, Proctor, on to Polson. And that will end the torturous second inning. We'll be right back with the bottom of the second. You're listening to Michael Hofling on the OC Riptide Network. Stay tuned. So Eric Wagman, or as his teammates like to call him, Wags, he's going to have the opportunity to cut into this 5-0 deficit that the Riptide face in the bottom of the second. Sam Miller having a little bit of trouble with his control, hit a batter, and walked a couple as well. Left a couple fastballs over the middle of the plate. First pitch to Wagman, swung on and popped up. Shallow right field. Jones is going to get underneath it and retire his man for out number 1. So first pitch, first out of the bottom of the second. Francis doing a nice job of making quick work of the Riptide hitters. But it is still the bottom of the second, and crazier things have happened. 5-0 is not an insurmountable lead. Heck, didn't the New England Patriots come back from a 28-3 deficit? Different sport, but same message. Logan Poulsen, the first baseman from Hawaii, takes a strike in the outside corner. 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch. Changeup drilled to the second baseman, Ginsberg. Gets it on the backhand and tosses on over to Duarte, out number 2. So 3 pitches, 2 outs. This could be a very quick inning. But Aaron Greenfield is going to have the opportunity to extend it. Aaron Greenfield getting a day off yesterday. Started the first game of the 2-game set against the Foresters. Did pretty well. First pitch to Greenfield. Fastball high and tight, 1-0. Got the high heat in the first one. Maybe expecting a fastball here. Francis does not want to go down in the count, 2-0. And the pitch. This one's low and away with the heat. 2-0 the count runs. Greenfield, one of the jokesters on the team, gets along with his teammates very well. Yesterday's game, he was on the bench. And there was a ball boy for the Foresters at Pershing Park. And the ball boy, whenever there was a foul ball straight back, he would go and run after it as fast as he could, try to get it. No older than 12. And Greenfield ordered Tomlinson to try to get the ball before the ball boy could. And it led to a couple exciting races behind home plate. Tomlinson winning most of them. And whenever Tomlinson didn't win one, Greenfield would just look at him and say, "Come on, we're trying to win every facet of this game." The 3-0 pitch to Greenfield in there for a strike, 3-1. And the 3-1. In there, low and inside corner, 3-2 with a fastball. Count is full. First baseman Duarte playing 5 or 6 feet off the line, expecting a little slap hit perhaps. That one's outside. Greenfield's going to head on over to first. That was way outside, and Greenfield, easy take. So with 2 outs, they have a runner on first. Luke Husung stepping up to the plate. He's DHing today for the Riptide. Husung came in and pinched hit in yesterday's contest. Pickoff attempt there. And Greenfield slides back in safely, getting the uniform a little dirty. Went 0 for 1 yesterday. Started in the win against the Foresters. And the first pitch. Check swing, he thought about it, but it was at the knees with a fastball. 0-1. On deck, Jake Polshin. Polshin getting the start today. Yesterday he played as the DH. He has a good bat and a good mind. Have I told you how much he looks like Jeremy Affeldt? 3-time World Series champion with the San Francisco Giants. Left-handed reliever. Polshin rocking that goatee just like Affeldt used to do. Steal attempt from Greenfield. The throw from Lacayo. That's going to go into center field. Greenfield's going to head to third, and he's going to be safe with a steal and the E2. Now there's just a runner 90 feet away. Albeit with 2 outs, but Husung has an opportunity to drive in 1 and cut that lead down to 4. So first stolen base of the game for the Riptide. Second stolen base of the year for Greenfield. And the pitch. Changeup on the inside corner. Nice pitch from Francis. Count is 1-2. Swing down the count, 1-2. It's 5-0 Halos. And the breaking ball tipped into the glove of Lacayo. He struck him out. 5-0 after 2 innings. Halos looking to extend that lead. Riptide trying to make sure they don't do it. Thanks for listening to the OC Riptide Network. I'm Michael Oefling. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the University of Concordia Irvine. For Riptide Baseball, they find themselves down 5-0 against the 3-1 Ventura Halos, looking to climb back. And it all starts with defense. There's a new pitcher out there for the Riptide. Final line for the starter, Sam Miller. 2 innings, 5 runs, all of them earned, 5 hits, 2 walks, a hit batsman. First pitch from Tomlinson is a fastball low and outside, 1-0. And the man he's going to face is Joey Mendez. Mendez had a single in that top of the second, the 5-run top of the second. Here's a 2-seam fastball, runs in on the hands. He swings over the top of it. It's 1-1. Tomlinson, one of 2 Ivy League men for the Riptide out of Brown University, majoring in economics. Does that remind anybody of a certain baseball movie? The 1-1, a curveball just outside 2-1. The movie I'm thinking of is Moneyball. Billy Bean, played by Brad Pitt, trades for somebody from the Cleveland Indians who was a Yale economics major. Drilled down the left field line, but hooks foul into the Riptide bullpen. Counts 2-2. So, if this baseball pitching career doesn't work out, he could possibly have a place at the Oakland Athletics organization underneath the still GM Billy Bean. And the 2-2. The curveball gets him. He struck him out looking and grabbed some pine. Mendez, third strikeout of the game for Riptide pitching. First one for Tomlinson. Tomlinson, in the very first league game of the year for the Riptide, pitched 3 phenomenal innings, shutout innings against the Arroyo Seco Saints. First pitch. At the knees with a fastball, 0-1 to Nick Lacayo. Lacayo got on via the fielder's choice in the top of the second. It was the first out. He would come around to score. There's that big hook from Tomlinson for strike number 2, and that's the thing about Tomlinson. That curveball is not his number 3, 4, 5 pitch. It's his number 2. He throws that fastball about 30% of the time, and then that curveball another 30% of the time. In the pitch, there's a slider dribbled foul toward the left side. Count remains 0-2, 1 out. Tomlinson's freshman year at Brown. As a Bear, he made 13 appearances and 3 games started where he went 2-1. In 32 innings pitched, there's a fastball high, 1-2. He had a 4.22 ERA with 27 strikeouts. He is a strikeout guy. His 2 wins came against Penn and Harvard. And guess what? His teammate Hunter Biggie, who took the win in the first game against the Santa Barbara Foresters, he plays for Harvard. So Tomlinson getting the better of his teammates' college team. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Grab some pine, Lacayo. So Tomlinson comes in and immediately sets down 2 on the strikeout. And both of them using that big swinging curveball. Absolutely buckles right-handed hitters. And look at this, another right-handed hitter, Michael Tillman, coming up to the plate. Tillman walked in the top of the second. And the first pitch is a ball, 1-0. And in just 32 innings pitched for Brown University, Tomlinson was already 4th on his team in strikeouts as a freshman. He has got a bright future ahead of him, even if he doesn't play baseball. Everybody who goes to Brown, or most people I should say, usually have a bright opportunity, bright future. Tough to get into Ivy League schools. The 2-0 pitch. There's the big hook in there, right down the middle, 2-1. As I've said, Tomlinson's not afraid to throw that at any point. He can throw it for a strikeout pitch. He can throw just to get one in there. When his fastball's not feeling, he'll throw that almost exclusively to try to get back into counts. The 2-1 pitch, the same pitch. That big hook on the outside corner, 2-2. We're in the top of the third. It's 5-0 Halos. A 5-run second inning off of the starter Sam Miller for the Riptide. 2-2. Swung on and fouled off to the right side. Big cut. And the Halos currently 4th in the California College League standings. They're tied with the Conejo Oaks at 3-1. They're only behind the Rockville Rockhounds. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And the Healdsburg Prune Packers. So 3 strikeouts for Will Tomlinson as he comes in and sets them down in order. We'll be right back with more Riptide baseball. Stay tuned. From Houston Baptist, Jake Polshin to lead it off for the Riptide in the bottom of the third. They find themselves down 5-0. Will Tomlinson pitched a spectacular top of the third, striking out all 3 halos he faced. So Polshin looking to climb the Riptide back into this one. First pitch at the bottom of the third, up high with the fastball, off the glove of Lacayo, and back toward the wall. It's 1-0. Dylan Francis has done very well at making quick work of the Riptide hitters. Only 17 pitches through 2 innings. That was the 18th pitch. But he has been erratic at times. Just every now and then we see a high fastball off the glove of Lacayo. This one dribbled down the line. It was along the line the whole time. Polshin hoping that one would go foul, but it stays fair. Duarte just takes it and steps on first. And that was an awkward roll. The first bounce was on the right field foul line, and it stayed on that foul line the whole way down to first, just barely hopped over first to Duarte, who was waiting patiently, and Polshin, not the fastest runner, unable to run that one out. It's the first out of the bottom of the third. One away for Bo Phillip. And the shortstop takes the first pitch high and tight on the fastball. 1-0. The right-hander Francis deals. The 1-0. High with the fastball. 2-0. Likes to live high in that zone. And that's where he's lived the whole season thus far. His ground out to air out ratio is 0.4, meaning he throws 5, meaning he gets 5 air outs, meaning line outs and fly outs for every 2 ground outs he gets. Likes to live up in the zone, living dangerously. But he is effective. He's got a very good fastball that can reach 92. And a lot of the hitters can't catch up to it. Count is 2-1 to Phillip. And the 2-1 pitch. Fastball, big swing and a miss. Count is even at 2. Only 1 hit in the contest for the Riptide, and that came back in the bottom of the first. Joey Parente led off the Riptide half with a base hit and then promptly got caught trying to take second. Phillip calls time. Francis working at his pace. He's one of the few pitchers and we've seen thus far that pitches from the windup when there's nobody on base. Swing and a miss off to the swing and a foul off to the right side. Excuse me. Count stays 2-2. Phillip from Citrus Heights, California, plays at San Joaquin Delta Junior College. But he's been in talks with TCU, the Horned Frogs. Swung grounded to the third baseman. Steele, he has it. Throws on the first, dug out by Duarte, and that's out number 2. Duarte, a great fielding first baseman. Both the first basemen in this game are spectacular. Logan Polson fielded .997 for Hawaii in his first year with them. And you got Duarte. Duarte was all defensive. Was on the all-defensive team during his high school days. Now Joey Parente up to bat, top of the lineup. First time through the order, only 2 people got on. Parente via a hit, and Aaron Greenfield via the walk. Greenfield would get to third, but couldn't come around to score. First pitch to Parente, fastball low and outside, 1-0. And this has been the case throughout the entire league play for the Riptide. They have not been able to figure out a starter. Grounded back up the middle. Quick hands by Francis, and he has it. Parente's not even going to run down to first. And Parente might be a little bit disappointed in that, but you can't do anything about that. That's just a great defensive play from Francis. We'll be right back with the top of the 4th. Riptide are down 5-0. Stay tuned to the OC Riptide Network. Top of the fourth, Charles Steele, the third baseman for the Halos, going to lead it off. I'm Michael Hofling. Thanks for tuning into the OC Riptide Network. It's 5-0 Halos. A 5-run top of the second. Here's a ground ball to the third baseman, Wagaman. Wags bobbles it and can't get a throw off. So on Wagaman's second error in 2 games, leadoff runner is on for the Halos. Now in the 9th spot, he's going to bat with the runner on first, nobody out. It's Brian Ginsberg. Ginsberg was hit by a pitch his first time up, just grazed his jersey. From up here, couldn't really tell if it hit him. But the umpire sent him down to first, and that was with the bases loaded. A little bluff steal there from Steele. And the pitch is at the knees. Tomlinson still out there. Before that E5, that puts Steele on first. Tomlinson had struck out every Halo he'd faced, albeit just 3, but he has strikeout material near the top of the league, California Collegiate League in strikeouts. Currently leads the Riptide in strikeouts, especially after that 3 strikeout top of the third. Count is 1-1 now to Ginsberg. And the 1-1. There goes Steele. He's heading to second. The throw, not in time, goes off the back of Steele. They might have had a chance to get him, but Steele did a nice job getting in the way of that ball. That was to the right of the bag. Proctor was there. But now there's a runner on second, nobody out. Count is 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and drilled into left field for a base hit. They're going to send Steele. The throw is going to be offline, and it gets to the wall. Ginsberg is going to be standing on second, so they trade places, and it's 6-0 Halos. The throw from the left fielder Greenfield was to the left of home plate, and Polshin didn't have enough time to read it. That curved heavily, had a very late break, and when it hit the grass of the infield, just bounced to the left. Polshin didn't have enough time to run over and cut it off, so Tomlinson had to cut it off. And he couldn't handle it, rolled all the way to the wall, and that allowed Ginsberg to take second. And now head coach Tiger Peterson going to go out and talk to his infield, talk to Will Tomlinson. Tiger Peterson, brother of Champ and Jock. That same Jock Peterson that plays center field for the Dodgers. Tiger had his time. Decided that coaching was the way he wanted to go. His first year with the Riptide. First pitch to the leadoff man, Christopher May, is a curveball at the knees, strike 1. Runner on second is Brian Ginsberg. And the pitch. Grounded to the second baseman, Proctor, on 2 hops. He has it and tosses on over to Polson at first for out number 1. Proctor has a good bat out there in the field. He's a good fielder, but one of the complaints that I've heard about him is that he waits back on the ball a little bit, on the chopper, on the ground ball, never charges it. Needs to be more aggressive out there on the field. In that first game against the Foresters, there was a ground ball to the short where Proctor was playing in that game, and the runner, the man at the plate who hit it, was Chandler Bankston, the first baseman, not the greatest runner. It was just a little ground ball to Proctor at short, And he stayed back on it, let it come to him, and Bankston was able to beat it out. So head coach Tiger Peterson's been working with him on that ever since. Playing second base at the moment. And the pitch. Swung on and grounded to Proctor once again. And the lazy throw over to first. In time, he had plenty of time to get that one. It's out number 2, but a run does come across. Jingsberg scores after his single. And it's 7-0. Christian Jones up to the plate now. After Aguilar grounds out to Proctor. Jones fouls the first pitch back, 0-1. I was able to talk with Tomlinson a little bit after the game against the Royal Seco. And I asked him, do you keep track of how many strikeouts you have during the game? And he said, nope, just go after the hitters. And I said, come on, you got to have some sort of idea. And he just looked at me and went, well, I mean, I did know when I had 3, and then I sort of lost count after 4. And then he got a couple more. So he does keep that in mind, but it's not on the forefront. It's just a little thing he likes to keep in there. Currently with 3 on the day. Trying to get the third out of this top of the 4th. It's 7-0 Halos. Count is 1-2 to Christian Jones, the number 3 spot, a lefty. The pitch up high with the fastball, 2-2. The count is even. The 2-2 pitch. Low and outside with the fastball. Count runs full. Waiting on deck, Dylan Duarte. Duarte's 1 for 2 on the day. Christian Jones is also 1 for 2. He had a single in that second inning, but he strikes out here looking. Tomlinson got him on the outside fastball. 4th strikeout of the day. Riptide are down 7-0. I'm Michael Hofling. Stay tuned to the Orange County Riptide Network. Two, 3, 4 for the Riptide in the bottom of the 4th. It's going to be Will Proctor, David Miranda, and Eric Wagaman. Wagaman with an error in the top of the 4th. Ended up coming around. Never want to put a man on to lead off an inning. Had a chance to get the first out on the ground ball to his position at third. Couldn't handle it. It was sharply hit. And the first pitch to Proctor is too low, 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch is swung on and lined into left field for a base hit. Will Proctor leads off the inning with a single to left. And there's 1 on, nobody out. Now from Florida Atlantic University, David Miranda going to come up to the plate. He's a lefty. And Miranda on the bus yesterday told me about what he does to keep himself occupied during that 4-hour trip. And he said it's pretty simple. You just sleep a little bit. And he talked to some of the guys. But for the most part, he just relaxed, listened to some music, and took a little nap, tried to get well rested before the second game of the 2-game set against the Foresters. He was my player to watch before yesterday's game. And he kept that hot streak going. He did have an error that ended up costing the Riptide a couple of runs. 3 runs to be exact. But you can't blame him for that. The sun was shining very brightly straight above Pershing Park. It was tough to look up, let alone catch a fly ball. And the 1-0 pitch. Outside, ball 2. There was a ceremony that the Foresters had before the game against the Riptide yesterday. And it was to celebrate their championship in the California Collegiate League. They're also to celebrate their 6th National Baseball Congress championship. And it was just a little evil, in my opinion, having a league competitor just watch while you guys gloated and took in your rings, but you deserve it. A phenomenal season the Foresters had last year. And they're looking to have another great season as well. They're off to a good start, albeit 2-2. Still, they're a very dangerous team. 2/3 of their team weren't even in yet. Still playing for their colleges. Here's a fly ball to Miranda, shallow center field. The shortstop Aguilar gets underneath it and retires his man for out number 1. Proctor still on first, and now it's going to be Wagaman's turn at plate. Wagaman 0 for 1 on the day, flew out to Jones in right, his first time up. Looking to get on base and move that runner over to second, possibly third even. The first pitch to Wagaman. Slider up high, ball 1. Yesterday, after the game was done and the whole team and I were on the bus headed back to University of Concordia, and we were looking for an In-N-Out. Who doesn't love In-N-Out? And the 2 that we went by were both packed to the brim. Drive-thrus going past the capacity, past the limits of In-N-Out. And after we got to the second one, Wagaman looked over at Coach Tiger Peterson and Marcus Pointer and said, "Oh, I saw one a couple miles back that was completely empty." And the whole bus just went, "Why didn't you tell anybody?" So Wagaman getting a little bit of a scuff from his teammates on that one. But everybody got their food. It was a happy trip back. Everybody very tired and trying to get well rested before this game. Two and 1 the count. Wagaman's waiting. And the 2-1. Low and outside corner with the fastball. Count is now even at 2. Proctor standing on first, hadn't shown any signs of moving. Did fake a steal attempt, a little bluff. Aguilar was ready, though. Came up ready to throw. Aguilar's got an amazing pop time. Takes him about 0.6 of a second to get up and ready to throw. And there Proctor goes. Swung on and fouled off to the right side, out of play. Proctor's going to mosey on over back to first. And we'll do that all over again. Count is still 2-2. One out. Runner on first is Will Proctor. Riptide are down 7-0. And a long time. Francis was waiting a while. Decided to step off. Not comfortable with his grip or the signs being shown by Lacayo. And the 2-2. Here's a hook and lined into center. That one's going to drop. Proctor round second. He'll get into third. And a single from Wagaman. And the ball gets through. Wagaman's going to try to take second. He will get in. So it's runners at second and third, one out for Logan Polson. So Proctor knew it was a base hit off the bat immediately. No question, was already rounding second by the time it left the bat. And Wagaman was waiting, was going to head back to first, but then the throw from the center fielder Mendez got underneath the glove of Aguilar at second base and just rolled into the middle of the infield. And Lacayo, the catcher, wasn't able to get to it before Wagaman took second. So now there's two runners in scoring position. And maybe Polson can start eating that elephant. Maybe two bites here with a base hit. Trim that lead down to 5. And negate that 2-run top of the 4th. First pitch to Polson. High and outside. Ball 1. Polson, the first baseman for the University of Hawaii his freshman year. Actually went to the same high school as our assistant GM, Alex Maloney. And the 1-0. Polson swings and pops this one up on the left side. It's high up there. But Steele is underneath it and retires his man for out number 2. And the baton is passed to Aaron Greenfield, who walked his first time up. Reigns from UNC, the University of North Carolina. He's a Tar Heel. Known for basketball, but they got a decent baseball program as well. And he's very prideful of it and enjoys his days there. In fact, after the game yesterday, he was wearing his UNC shirt, and a lot of the guys were giving him a little bit of crap, just saying, hey, do you go to UNC? Unsure. Greenfield loves to talk about it. He's a proud Tar Heel. Took that first pitch inside, ball 1. The runners at second and third are Will Proctor. He's on third, and Eric Wagaman. He's on second. There's a breaking ball just inside. Tried to front door that one. It's 2-0. The Halos dugout giving out an audible sigh after that call from the umpire. Defense lined up straight away. The 2-0. Fastball on the inside corner, 2-1. Seven runs on 6 hits for the Halos. No runs on 3 hits for the Riptide. But they have an opportunity here. 2 runners on, both in scoring position. Count is 2-1 to Aaron Greenfield. And the pitch. Swung on and drilled into right field. That one's going to fall. Well, they're going to send Wagaman. The throw's going to be close, but it's going to be not in time. And Greenfield's going to head to second as well. So 2 runs come across on the RBI single. 7-2. Riptide still trail. Good base running by Greenfield. The ball got cut off by the first baseman Duarte. But as soon as Greenfield saw that he was throwing home, he took off, and Lacayo did not have enough time to throw it on down to second. Now the man up is Luke Husung. First time up, Husung struck out. Here he check swings on the fastball. That was outside, but it's 0-1. He went. 2 runs across in this inning. They negate the top of the 4th that scored 2 for the Halos. Count is 0-1. Husung awaits from Francis. Outside with the fastball, 1-1. Francis waiting. He delivers the pitch. Swung on and drilled into the gap. This one's going to be extra bases. 1 hop off the wall, and Husung is going to trade places with Aaron Greenfield. It's 7-3. The Riptide still trail. And now the baton is passed to Jake Polshin. Polshin struggled. He has struggled on the early parts of the season, but it is early, and Polshin's bat is much desired in the lineup for Peterson and the Riptide. And now the head coach, Jimmy Walker, going to go out and talk to his man, Dylan Francis. Francis had a spectacular first 3 innings. He was found himself struggling here in the 4th. 2 singles and a double. 3 singles and a double by Will Proctor, Eric Wagaman, Aaron Greenfield, and that double just happened by Luke Husung. Nobody warming up in the Halo bullpen, so this is Francis's inning. First appearance in league for Francis. As I've mentioned, Halos are 3-1 on the year. They've beaten the SoCal Catch twice. Their only loss coming to the MLB Academy Barons. They're on a 2-game win streak in league right now against the SoCal Catch and the Arroyo Seco Saints. The Arroyo Seco Saints have a phenomenal pitching staff, as evidenced by their scores against the Riptide and the Halos. They won 2-0 against the Riptide and lost 2-0 against the Ventura Halos. Count is 1-0 to Polshin. There's a slider on the inside corner, 1-1. Jake looking for something to drive. There's a runner in scoring position already, 3 runs across in this bottom of the 4th. Riptide looking to get back to 500, but they find themselves down by 4 at the moment. And the pitch swung on and drilled. It's a mile high, but on the infield. Steele is underneath it. No pop-up dance needed. Gets his man for out number 3. 3 runs come across for the Riptide. They're still down 7-3. We're heading to the 5th on the OC Riptide Network. Stay tuned. Top of the fifth here at the University of Concordia in Irvine. I'm Michael Oefling. Thanks for listening on the OC Riptide Network. Dalton Duarte to lead off the top of the fifth for the Ventura Halos, and the first pitch is fouled off to the left side. Almost found its way into the Riptide dugout. It's 0-1. Tomlinson keeping the pearl. He stays out there for his third inning of work. He's pitched pretty well thus far. 4 strikeouts in 2 innings. 2 runs, 1 of them earned. This ball is grounded to the second baseman Proctor, and he gets it to first for out number 1. So Duarte rolls it over to Proctor. There's 1 away, nobody on. Only the second time through the first 5 innings that the leadoff man has not found his way on base for the Halos. First pitch to Joey Mendez in there for a strike, 0-1. Mendez 1 for 2 on the day. Singled off of Miller in the second. And then as soon as Tomlinson came in, first person to face him was Mendez, and he struck out looking. There's another curveball down in the dirt. Good block from Pulsion behind the plate. It's 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch, a big swinging curveball just inside, 2-1. And the 2-1 pitch. That came in on him, but he did swing. Actually grazed Mendez, but he did come around on that check swing. So it does not matter. The count is 2-2. That's a strike. Actually got through everybody and hit the umpire, but he seems to be doing all right. Did not even flinch. And the 2-2 from Tomlinson. There's that curveball once again. He loves it. It gets fouled straight back. Count remains even at 2. Nobody in the bullpen for the Halos, but there is somebody outside the bullpen seemingly warming up. And that's Noah Simon. After that 3-run bottom of the 4th for the Riptide. We'll see if head coach Jimmy Walker wants to make a move and go to his right-hander for the 5th inning. Count is full now. Tomlinson not looking to put somebody on base. Does not normally walk people. And the 3-2. Swung on and grounded down the third base line just to the left of the bag. It's foul. Wagaman only playing a couple feet off the line, but that was hit so hard. Wagaman had little chance of getting that one. He could have dove, but it did go foul. And who knows, if he dove, maybe he would have got there. The 3-2, take 2. Swung on and dribbled foul once again. Let's get ready for take 3. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Defense lined up pretty straight away. Polson and Wagaman over there at first and third, only playing a couple feet off the lines. The 3-2, down low in the dirt. And that's what you call a good at-bat, everybody. Mendez going to head on and down over to first. Just waited, was waiting for Tomlinson to either make a mistake or walk him, and he got the second option. So Will Tomlinson going to work out of the stretch with 1 away and a runner on first for the catcher, Nick Lacayo. Pickoff attempt, very quick. And they're going to call it a balk. They're going to say he did not fully step off the mound, so Mendez is going to head on over to second. Riptide had 3 balks yesterday against the Foresters and now lead the league in that category. Still awaiting the first pitch is Lacayo. And here it is from Tomlinson, a two-seamer up high and tight, 1-0, excuse me. Lacayo, the junior from Michigan State, a Spartan. Warrior mentality embodied through him. Big hook inside, 2-0. Lacayo has thrown somebody out in this game. That's Parente in the bottom of the first. Attempting to take second. And the 2-0 swung on and drilled down the right field line, slicing foul and out of play. 2-1 the count now. Lacayo likes that outside pitch. Middle outside is his wheelhouse. You would think with a wheelhouse like that he wouldn't have any power. But he does have the capability to pull one. Can hit the middle in as well. And can take you out if you're not careful. And I'm not talking in a fancy first date kind of way. I'm talking in a 1 run or 2 or 3 or 4 across the plate kind of way. There's a curveball that was in the dirt. It's 3-1 now. Waiting on deck is Michael Tillman. The runner on second is Joey Mendez after a balk from Tomlinson. This one's drilled to the second baseman Proctor, who has it on a couple hops. Tosses on over to Polson for out number 2. Mendez moves on over to third. And now Tillman has an opportunity to make it 8-3 with a runner on third. Tillman, 0 for 1 on the day. In that 5-run top of the second, he walked and would come around the score and then struck out swinging against Tomlinson in the top of the third. In the pitch. Check swing and a miss. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, Tillman waiting. A big swing and a miss. That one was not a check swing. And went right through that slider. It's 0-2. Tillman going to choke up here and try to catch Tomlinson off guard. Tomlinson has Tillman right where he wants him. You can throw him anything now. There's the big hook once again. The slider gets him on the inside corner. He struck him out. 5th strikeout of the game for Tomlinson. Riptide have a chance to score a couple runs. They're down by 4 still. We'll be right back on the OC Riptide Network. Stay tuned. Bottom of the 5th here, Bo Phillip going to lead it off for the Riptide. Phillip, 0 for 1 on the day. Getting close to the 3rd time around the lineup. For the Riptide, Joey Parente, the leadoff man, waits on deck. Grounded out to the third baseman. Steele his first time up, Phillip did. First pitch. Inside, just inside with the fastball, 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch to Phillip. Down low, 2-0. Bullpen is empty for the Halos. Head coach Walker showing some confidence in his man Dylan Francis out on the mound. Swung on and fouled off to the right side, out of play, 2-1 the count is. I'd like to make a correction for something I've been doing throughout the game. The man out there at second base for the Halos is Brian Ginsberg. I've been saying Ginsberg. I was misfed some information, and I will correct this throughout the rest of the game. The 2-1 pitch is outside with the fastball. It runs to the hitter's count, 3-1. The Tide are down 7-4. 7-3. They're down by 4. And a runner on to lead off the inning would do them a great deal. This one's fouled off to the right side again. Count runs full. Phillip, a couple of hits for the Riptide through the first 4 games. He started all 4 league games for Orange County. And the full count pitch. He struck him out, a 2-seam fastball on the outside corner. Phillip thought it was ball 4. He threw his bat back and started heading down to first. So now we're going to see a pinch hitter, Paul Gomez, coming in for Joey Parente. Gomez has started a couple games for the Riptide. Came in to pinch hit in yesterday's game. Went 0 for 1. And in his first at-bat, first pitch is a fastball inside. It's 1-0. Last year, Gomez played in the Northwoods League. I was talking to him a little bit, and he said he was the farthest team from anybody else in the Great Lakes League, in the state of Michigan. He lines this one into left field, but the wind knocks it down, and the third baseman, Steele, will have it. So that's a line drive to the third baseman for round number 2. But as I was saying, Gomez was playing in the Northwoods League last year, and right before that 4-hour drive to Santa Barbara, we were talking, and he said he was the farthest team from any other team in the league, and he said every away game was a 2 to 5 hour drive, so he said he was kind of used to it. And he said that this league, the California League, is a definite step up. Will Proctor up to the plate now. Fouled the first one off. It's 0-1. Second one gets fouled off again right over our heads. It's 0-2. Proctor had a base hit in the 4th and would come around to score for the Riptide's first run on the single from Aaron Greenfield. The 0-2 pitch. Low and outside on the fastball. It's 1-2. Proctor, in a baseball family, his dad played baseball for Georgetown in 1984 to 1988, and his sister goes to the University of Georgia as well. Proctor swings and misses at that one. That's strike 3. No runs across, and no one got on base. No hits, no errors. It's still 7-3 as we head to the top of the 6th. Stay tuned on the Orange County Riptide Network. Top of the sixth here. Riptide are down 7-3. The Halos are at bat. And Will Tomlinson returns out there for his fourth inning of work. Through the first 3 innings, he's given up 2 runs, only one of them earned, and had 5 strikeouts. First pitch is down low, ball 1. Up to the bat is the third baseman, Charles Steele. Steele 0 for 2. And the 1-0 down low in the dirt, 2-0. He's 0 for 2, but he's gotten on base once today. An error by Eric Wagaman, the third baseman for the Riptide. He then stole a base and came around to score. That's the unearned run on Tomlinson. There's a line drive down the right field line. That's going to be fair, and it's going to reach the wall. And he's going to go for 3. The throw. Got him at third. What a play, and what a throw from Will Proctor. That ball was in the corner right next to the 330 marker in right field by the foul pole. It caromed off the wall, and Miranda didn't play it 100% well. It took a funky bounce. But just in enough time, he overthrew the man Gomez at second. And they got him. A fantastic play. That throw was actually from Phillip. Proctor has moved to left field. Gomez moved to second. After Parente comes out, Greenfield moving to center. The big hook up high, ball 1. So Phillip stays at short. The man at second is now Paul Gomez. And the 1-0 pitch grounded to third baseman Wagaman. He has it. And the hard throw over to Polson at first retires his man for out number 2. So a fantastic first 2 batters. Lots of excitement in this top of the 6th. And lucky for Tomlinson, there's nobody on base here with 2 outs. So Ginsburg was retired, and that's going to bring up the top of the lineup now. It's Christopher May. First pitch to May is a ball outside, 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch. Outside with the fastball, 2-0. Rudy Aguilar on deck. Rudy's his nickname, his real name Rodolfo Aguilar. The 2-0 pitch. In there at the knees with a 2-seamer, 2-1. Tomlinson went to Crean Lutheran. He was a Saint in high school. There's a curveball outside, 3-1. Check swing, they checked, but he did not go. In his senior year, he had 10 wins to lead his high school league, and a 2.01 ERA and 107 strikeouts in 67 and a third. And he was voted to the Max Preps California All-State First Team. He was his 2016 Conference Pitcher of the Year. This is a high, deep fly ball to right center field over the head of Miranda. He's going to try to get the third once again. The throw, this time it's not in time. May gets into third with a triple. There's still 2 outs, but there's a runner 90 feet away at third base. It's going to come down to Rudy Aguilar. 2 guys out there in the Orange County Riptide bullpen. We'll let you know who they are as soon as we get word. So Aguilar digs in, looking to drive in the 8th run of the game for the Halos. And the first pitch. Line straight at the shortstop, Phillip, who gets it and retires his man for out number 3. So 2 hits, a double and a triple, but no runs across. Some great defense from the Riptide in that half inning. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It's still 7-3 Halos. Stay tuned. Leading off the bottom of the 6th here for the Riptide as they look to cut into that 4-run deficit they face. It's 7-3 Halos. It's David Miranda. Miranda, I mentioned he was near the top in the California Collegiate League in RBIs. First pitch to him. Drilled to left field. This one's going to drop for a base hit. Miranda reaches first. So a leadoff base hit for Miranda. That's going to bring up Eric Wagaman with 1 on and nobody out. But I did some research on Miranda, and Miranda is actually 7th in the conference right now in RBIs. Does not have 1 today, but the game is still young. First pitch to Wagaman, fastball at the knees. 0-1. And now the bullpen for the Halos going for the first time tonight. Francis still out there. Pickoff attempt. Miranda slides back in safely. On today, Wagaman, 1 for 2. Singled in the 4th and would come around to score on the Aaron Greenfield single. He took that one. That was outside. The runner on first is Miranda. It's 7-3 Halos. Swung on and drilled into left field, but straight at the left fielder who leaps and makes a spectacular catch. Nice catch by May. It's out number 1, and if you're Wagaman, you can't be disappointed with that one. You just got to tip your hat and say, nice play, sir. So it remains 1 on, but now there's 1 out for Logan Polson. Polson in a spectacular first game against Santa Barbara, where he drove in 3 and had 2 singles to left field. Another pickoff attempt, this one closer, but Miranda gets back in safely. And Polson, he's a big man. You'd think he's a pull, sort of power guy, but just pushed those 2 in the first game against Santa Barbara. Slapped the outside pitches. Was able to drive in 3. He was our player of the game. In the second game, he got a couple of base hits as well. Here he lines one into the 34 hole and into right field for a single. And the second baseman, Ginsberg, was playing a little bit close to second, playing double play depth. Polson took advantage and got into that hole. And now there's 2 on, 1 out for Aaron Greenfield, the new center fielder. Greenfield got a day of rest yesterday. Looking to make an impact today. He's 1 for 1. Single and a walk. The first pitch is up high, ball 1. Have not been able to get him out. He got to third his first time up after a stolen base and an error by the catcher on the throwdown, but could not come around to score in the second. And then the fourth, he got a single and would score on the double by Luke Husung. Here he drives one into left field, but May is underneath it already and retires as man for out number 2. They tried to double up Miranda at second, but he gets back in plenty of time. Now it's Luke Husung from Chico State. Husung DHing today. Played left field in the opener against Arroyo Seco, where he went 0 for 3. Most of the team went 0 for that day. Only 2 hits by Joey Parente and Aaron Greenfield. In the first pitch to Husung. Swung on and popped up, out of play, about 10 feet from me. I did not bring my mitt. I know that's a sin of baseball games, but I am safe. It's 0-1 now to Husung. Catcher Lacayo going out to talk to his pitcher Francis. Maybe a special pickoff play or just discussing how he wants to tackle this hitter, who sung an RBI double his last time up. He swings hard. He swings well. Is vulnerable to the strikeout, though, and the pitch. Big swing and a miss, 0-2. Two outs here in the bottom of the sixth. It's 7-3. Ventura leads. 7 runs on 7 hits for the Halos. 3 runs on 7 hits for the Riptide. The center fielder, Mendez, playing to the left of second base. Right center field is open. The 0-2. A check swing, and they're going to say he went around. That's a strikeout for Francis and possibly his final inning of work. He gets out of an early jam. It remains 7-3 Halos. I'm Michael Wolfling. Stay tuned to the OC Riptide Network. We'll be right back. New pitcher in for the Riptide is number 44, Blair Lewis. Lewis got his first appearance in league play yesterday against the Foresters, and he gave up 1 run. Junior out of Orange Coast Junior College. He's from Hummelstown, Pennsylvania, the only man from the East Coast on this Riptide team. And leading off the inning is Christian Jones. First pitch is a fastball up high, 1-0. Blair Lewis, his freshman year at Pitt. He pitched in the season opener against Niagara, and he gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. And then calmed down the rest of the year and really had a great year at Pitt, but didn't get the innings he wanted, and then went to Orange Coast JC, where he went 4-2 with 4 saves, served as a reliever/closer with 39 strikeouts and 56 innings pitched and a 2.25 ERA. Really excelled there. That one's down low. It's 3-0 now. Christian Jones, 1 for 3 on the day, a single, a stolen base, and 2 strikeouts. The 3-0 is an outside corner fastball, 3-1. Defense playing Jones to pull. They're going to say he swung on the check swing, but he's going to head down to first. So they checked the third base umpire. He said he didn't go around. So the home plate umpire signaling a strike call. And the third base umpire saying he did not swing. So Christian Jones heads on down to first after the 5-pitch walk. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Dalton Duarte. Duarte's 1 for 3 with a single and 2 ground balls to second base. First time it was to Proctor, and the second time around it was to Gomez. Takes the first pitch. Duarte waits. And gets fouled off to the left side. Jones over there on first. 7-3, the Riptide trail. Count is 1-1. Defense lined up, expecting Duarte to pull. The shortstop, Phillip, lined up almost directly behind second base. The 1-1 swing and a miss. He tried to knock that one out. Duarte has a lot of power. You should have seen him in batting practice. I don't know if you can see it on the live stream, but out beyond right center field, there's a little cargo trailer that says Mobile Mini. It's about 400 feet out there, and he smacked it. Here's a high fly ball down the left field line. And that's going to reach the wall fair. And they're going to send Jones. He will score, and it's 8-3. So a double from Duarte. They were expecting him to pull. He hits it oppo down the left field line. And now the Riptide are down by 5. Joey Mendez is going to step up to the plate now. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Also stole third. He got to third in the 5th against Tomlinson, but couldn't score. He advanced to second on a balk. They're pinch running for Duarte. So Duarte's day is done. And the first pitch to Mendez is a fastball at the knee, strike 1. The man out there, pinch running for Dalton Duarte, is Armette Johnson, the outfielder from Cal State Los Angeles. Big swing and a miss from Mendez. It's 0-2. So trying to get a little bit of insurance, adding a little bit of speed on the base paths. They're up by 5, 8 runs on 8 hits. It's 8-3. The 0-2. Scoreboard was wrong there. He swings and misses. That's a strikeout. First strikeout of the day for Lewis. 1 out of the way. Runner still on second. It's Johnson. Now up to the plate. The Ventura Halos batsman takes the first pitch, 1-0. It's a new guy in there. No longer Nick Lacayo behind the plate. It's Daniel Edson, the freshman from USC. The 1-0 to the Trojan. Outside corner with a fastball, 1-0. 1-1, excuse me. Edson coming in for Lacayo, who called a spectacular game for his starter. Dylan Francis, and you have to imagine with Lacayo coming out, Francis is going to be out in the next inning. But give Francis a quality start through 6 innings pitched, should he not come out. Meanwhile, the Riptide are on their third pitcher. Miller struggled through the first 2, gave up 5 runs, all of them earned. And Tomlinson came in and gave up 2 runs, 1 of them earned. Now Blair Lewis in his first inning of work gives up 1. And they double up the runner at second, Johnson. The line drive straight at the left fielder, Proctor. And Gomez headed on over to second. They were able to double him up. Johnson thought that was going to be a single, but he ends up out. So 1 run across. It's 8-3 Halos. We'll be back with the bottom of the 7th. You get Tramatz out. It's time for the 7th-inning stretch. Stay tuned to the Orange County Riptide Network. Seventh inning stretch time. If anybody wants to come on in future home games and sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game in the bottom of the 7th, we'd love to have you. But as of right now, we don't have anybody to do so. Jake Polshin's going to lead it off. Facing a new pitcher out there for the Halos. Dylan Francis's day is done after 6 stellar innings of work. The 1-0 pitch is on the outside corner with a fastball. It's 1-1. New pitcher is Noah Simon, the junior out of Cal State San Bernardino. There's a fastball down low. He's 6 foot 165, but don't let his small frame deceive you. He's got a good fastball, reminiscent of Tim Lincecum back in his strong days, the 5'10", 2-time Cy Young Award winner. Back when he was dominant, he was called the Freak due to his small size, skinny frame, but still able to get the fastball in the mid-90s. And Simon might not be there yet, but he is working to it. There's a foul ball straight back. It's 3-2. Riptide are down 3-8. And they have 3 innings to climb back in this one. Do not want to fall to 1-3 on the season. Meanwhile, the Halos looking to go 4-1 to start off the year. Polshin lines this one down the left field, but it's foul. We'll do the payoff pitch once again, round 2. Waiting on deck is Bo Phillip, the shortstop. On the day, Pulsion 0 for 2. Here he swings and fouls this one back. Take 3. He had a very unique first at-bat. Got it to a full count and then dribbled one off the end of the bat. Looked like it was going to be foul, but stayed exactly along the first base foul line the whole time. He takes this one down low. And it's ball 4. Pulsion will be on first with a leadoff walk. From San Joaquin Delta JC, here comes Bo Phillip. Phillip 0 for 2 on the day. He grounded out to the third baseman steal and struck out. But that was against Francis and has been the story all season for the Riptide. They've not been able to get much going against starters, but as soon as the starter gets out, they've been able to open the floodgates and really come into their own and find their offensive prowess. So with a leadoff walk, we'll see if history repeats itself in this, the 4th game of league play for the Riptide. Pickoff attempt. Pulsion slides back in safely. 1-0 the count to Phillip. The 1-0. Up high with the fastball. 2-0. Noah Simon has good stuff. His fastball reaches 89-90. But his strikeout material is that changeup. You would think normally it's a breaking ball, something that goes off. But his changeup can drop down to 75. And a 13-mile-an-hour difference is definitely something you do not want to see if you're a hitter. It really throws you off balance and gets your bat out in front. And if you do make contact, you're just going to roll over to one of the infielders and he would take that here, but right now it's 3-0, fastball count. And it is a fastball on the inside corner, 3-1. Phillip taking all the way there. Another pickoff attempt to Pulsion, but he slides back in safely. Christian Jones, the right fielder, moving on to down to first base. He's the one holding on Pulsion. Swung on and drilled out to right field. We're going to see if this one stays in play, and it goes out of play. Right fielder giving good chase. The new right fielder is Jake Peters, listed as a catcher, but he's out there chasing down fly balls in right field. Here's a line drive straight back to the second baseman. 4-6, not in time to 3, so they do not get the double play. And that was a tough call for Pulsion. That was a line drive to Ginsberg, and it looked like he might catch it. So Pulsion had to freeze, but it took one hop and did not have enough time to get to second and maybe cause a little mix-up with this slide. There's still 1 on and 1 out for Paul Gomez, who came in the 5th inning for Joey Parente. He is 0 for 1 with a line drive to steal at third. First pitch, he drills this one down the line. If it's fair, it's trouble, but it is just foul. And Gomez is going to head back to the plate. Phillip was already rounding third at that point. That would have been in the corner and would have been some deep doo-doo for the Halos. Gomez digs back in. It's 0-1. And the pitch. Down low in the dirt. Nothing doing. It got away from Edson, the catcher. But Phillip not wanting to risk it here, down 5. Got to keep runners on. You get paid to get on first, not get thrown out at second. There goes Phillip. It's in the dirt, so Phillip will get in there standing up. I'd call that a steal. Two and one the count now to Gomez. With a runner in scoring position looking to cut into that 5-run deficit. They have 3 innings to do so, technically 2 2/3. But the 2-1 is down low. Ball 3. See, I didn't get that wrong. I was just predicting the future. Knew it was going to be a ball. The hitters count 3 and 1. And the pitch swung on and lifted high in the air down the left field line. And Ahmed Johnson gets underneath it, coming in for Christopher May. That's out number 2. The runner remains at second. So we have almost a whole defensive change for the Halos in this one. Ahmed Johnson, after coming in and pinch running for Dalton Duarte, he stays in and plays left field. I already talked about the right field change. It's Jake Peters out there. Daniel Edson staying behind the plate, catcher. Will Proctor looking to do some damage. Fouls the first one off down the right field line. It's 0-1. On the day, Proctor, 1 for 3. He flew out to the left fielder. Here he lines this one into the gap. And this one might drop. They dive, and it gets in between all of them. And Johnson is down. Meanwhile, Proctor is going to head into third with a triple. That will score Phillip, but Johnson is still down. Both Mendez and Johnson dove for the ball. And Johnson, he's not getting up. We'll be right back. Stay tuned to the Orange County Riptide Network. Johnson got up on his own power. Good to see after a scary incident. Not something you want to see if you're a fan of the game of baseball. But there is a man on third. It's Will Proctor. He drove in a run. And now David Miranda has a chance to drive in another. First pitch in the dirt, a check swing. They're going to say he went, so it's 0-1. Miranda looking to cut this deficit down to 3. It's 8-4 Halos. He swings and dribbles this one into the Ventura dugout. 0-2 the count runs. Miranda 1 for 3. Extends his hitting streak to 4 games. Takes a fastball outside. It's 1-2. And the 1-2. Drilled down the line, fair. And that's going to be at least a single. Nice job by the right fielder to cut that one off and make sure it wasn't a double. Johnson left the game. The new left fielder is Jack Rosenberg, the junior from Oral Roberts. It's 8-5 now. Halos still lead. But with 2 outs, the Riptide have had something cooking. Miranda's on first. And the pitch to Wagaman down low with the fastball, 1-0. Miranda does have speed, and you're down 3. You might want to steal. And Wagaman gets hit straight in the back. Second time this year that a Riptide player has been hit by a pitch. That's going to put 2 runners on for arguably the most powerful man in this Riptide lineup, Logan Polson. So after the hit by pitch, there's 2 on and 2 outs. Still 8-5 in favor of the visiting team, Ventura Halos. First pitch, Polson takes it. It's 1-0. Not the cleanest of innings for Noah Simon. Here's a high, deep fly ball to left field. But Rosenberg is underneath it and makes the catch for out number 3. 2 runs across here. It's now only a 3-run deficit. They now have more hits than the Halos, but still find themselves down. We'll be back on the OC Riptide Network. I'm Michael Oefling. Stay tuned. Eight to 5 here in beautiful Irvine, California. The sun is directly to the left of us, straight in the eyes of Logan Polson. You could tell while he was throwing balls to his infielders, while he was trying to receive him again, he was having difficulty. So hopefully that doesn't come into play here for the Riptide. Leading off is going to be Michael Tillman. First pitch. Drilled to the third baseman. Wagaman has it on the couple hops. Nice play on over the first for out number 1. So a fantastic play. Ranging on over to his right. It's made a clean pick and a hard throw on over the first to get Tillman by a couple of steps. So a pinch hitter coming in for the Halos. In for Charles Steele is Blake Chiaramonte. Chiaramonte, and junior. Unsure where he's going to head next year. 6'2", 195 takes the first pitch from Lewis, who stays out there. 0-1. 8 runs on 8 hits for the Halos. This one's grounded to Wagaman once again, who leaps and makes the catch. That was actually a line drive to Wagaman. Thought it was just a very big hop straight in front of the plate, but indeed it was a line drive. Wagaman, 2 nice plays for 2 outs. We're here in the top of the 8th. Riptide are down by 5, looking for their second win of the season, trying to get back to 500. These two teams last year did not have stellar seasons in the California Collegiate League, looking to rebound. Here's a high fly ball out into center field. Greenfield is underneath it and makes the catch for out number 3. So a very quick inning for Lewis after surrendering 1 in the top of the 7th. Riptide down by 3. We'll see if they can climb back. Right back. Noah Simon comes back out for his 3rd inning of work here. The Riptide trail 5-8. But here comes Aaron Greenfield. He's been a catalyst all night for the Riptide. Looking to do some damage to lead off the bottom of the 8th. It's Greenfield, Husung, and Pulsion. The 3 to face Simon. And the first pitch to strike, a fastball at the knees. 0-1 the count. Second pitch outside with a fastball. It's even 1-1. Greenfield, a very relaxed, calm bat sway. Reminiscent of Gary Sheffield. Famous Angel and Yankee. Possible Hall of Famer takes that one. It's 2-1. He's so calm up there at the plate. A very small step. Fouls that one off. And dribbled to the right side. 2-2. But it's astonishing how focused somebody can get up at the plate. All Greenfield does when he gets up there is chew gum and think about what's coming next. That pitch is a 2-seam fastball, low and inside. Count runs full. I've talked about how he likes to mess with his teammates in the dugout. When he gets up in that batter's box, it is all business. The 3-2. Outside corner with the fastball. Second time that one of the Riptide players thought it was ball 4, but instead are sent back to the dugout with their heads low. Now Luke Husung, the designated hitter, going to come up with 1 out after the strikeout. Husung, 1 for 3 on the day. A double and a pair of strikeouts, trying to avoid that third one. He fouls that off, straight back, 0-1. The 0-1. Big cut, 0-2. Husung, before today, 125 on the year. He swings and misses at that one for strike 3. And he is out for number 2. Third strikeout of the game for Husung. Jake Polshin going to come up to the plate now. Polshin, 0 for 2 with a walk. He walked in the bottom of the 7th. And then got out on the fielder's choice by Bo Phillip, the man on deck. Phillip would come around to score. As I mentioned, Husung, top 15 in the California Collegiate League in strikeouts. And after today, going to raise a little bit. Got to work on his contact. A nice diving play by Chiramonte. Tosses on over to first low. Jones can't handle it, and Polshin's going to head to second on the E5. So a nice diving play, but cannot finish the Sports Center highlight. And instead, Polshin's going to be standing on second with 2 away for Bo Phillip. So call that a single and an error. That's why Polshin's on second. Bo Phillip from San Joaquin Delta Junior College, possibly a TCU Horned Frog next year with a chance to trim that lead to 2. Here he drives this one into left center field. It's a pop-up. Aguilar is underneath it and makes the catch for out number 3. So Polshin gets the second, but nobody scores. It's still an 8-5 lead for the Halos. We'll be back with the 9th inning on the OC Riptide Network. I'm Michael Loefling. Stay tuned. New pitcher in for the 9th inning for the Riptide. It's Will Proctor, the man who's been playing second base and left field most of the game. He's going to come in and try to finish this one out or possibly go longer should the Riptide come back and extend it into extra innings or possibly win it in the bottom of the ninth. They're down 5-8. First pitch from Proctor in there for strike one. At bat, it's Christopher May. May moved into center field late in the game after starting in left field. And then Ahmed Johnson came in for left. He got hurt. We've had a lot of changes, defensive changes for the Halos in this one. So Proctor into pitch. Moving over to third is Logan Polson. Meanwhile, Eric Wagaman moves into left field where Will Proctor was. And coming in to play first is Phil Steering. This is Steering's first appearance in a league game since the opener against Arroyo Seco where he came in and pinch hit. He went 0 for 1 in that one. And this time he gets an opportunity to play defense. The 0-2. Curveball just inside, 1-2. May, 2 for 2. 2 for 3. Double, triple, walk, and a ground out to the second baseman, Proctor. And guess where Proctor is now? You guessed it, on the mound. The pitch. Swung on and flied out to right field. Miranda has a track on it and makes the catch for out number one with two hands. See that, kids? That's how you catch a fly ball. See all those professional ball players nowadays getting underneath it with tons of time and then just using one hand? Don't do that. Don't do it. Try to use two if you can. Now Rudy Aguilar. One for 4 on the day. First pitch, changeup down low in the dirt, 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch. Fastball low and outside, 2-0. So Will Proctor coming in to pitch for the first time this season for the Riptide. Did not pitch at all in his time at Georgia his freshman year. However, high school, he was a phenomenal pitcher. In fact, he had a 93.93 ERA and 14 strikeouts in 15 innings pitched as a junior in his high school. But this one's ground to the shortstop, Phillip. Phillip has it on a couple hops on the Steering for out number one. Out number 2. So 2 outs, 1 left. It's Christian Jones going to step up to the plate. Jones, 1 for 3 on the day, a single, a walk, and a couple of strikeouts. He's come around to score once, no RBIs, but he does have a stolen base. In the first pitch to Jones. Foul tipped back into the glove of Polshin, 0-1. Proctor was a huge prospect coming out of high school. He was ranked the number 2 shortstop in all of California. And he's still a phenomenal player. There's another strike, 0-2. He's got good pop as a freshman at 3 home runs for Georgia. There's a slider down low in the dirt, 1-2. Trying to get Jones to chase. Proctor has a good arm action, a good fastball. After that slider low, you might think, oh, here's a fastball high. Try to get Jones to chase. And it is a fastball high. Jones can't catch up to it. Swings and misses. First strikeout for Proctor. They head into the bottom of the ninth. Down 3, the Riptide do. It's 8-5 Halos. We'll be back on the Orange County Riptide Network. I'm Michael Hofling. Stay tuned. We're in the bottom of the ninth here at the University of Concordia in Irvine. Last chance for the Riptide. They're down 5-8, and they're facing a new guy, a lefty, Greg Minier. First pitch from Minier. In there for strike one. Excuse me, that was a ball, actually. Right at the knees. I looked away for a moment. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Fastball down low in the dirt. Gomez takes 2-0. Top of the lineup coming up. Gomez, since coming in for Parente, he's 0 for 2. Lined out to the third baseman Steele and flew out to the left fielder, May. Showed bunt on that one, but pulled back. It's 3-0. And the 3-0 pitch. Outside with the fastball, 4-pitch walk. And that's not what you want to see if you're Jimmy Walker, the head coach for Ventura. You bring in the guy who's supposed to be your closer, and he gives up a leadoff walk. Will Proctor coming up now. Proctor has had a pretty good day at the plate. He's 2 for 4, a single, a triple. And they would take that here. Both times he's reached base, he's come around to score. Looking to do some damage. The first pitch, a slider. Down in the dirt, 1-0. Daniel Edson doing a nice job of stopping all those pitches in the dirt. There's bouncing right in front of him, right into his glove. Proctor shows bunt, another slider. It's inside, he pulls back 2-0. Man on first is Gomez. And now Ventura is going to call a timeout, and he's going to go out there and try to talk to his closer. Minier does not have a save on the year. In fact, only 3 players have saves in the entire CCL. Justin Smith from the Neptune Beach Pearl, Crit Rudkin, and Solomon Bates. And they're the only 3. Solomon Bates' save from the Academy Barons came against this Ventura team. So now the meeting on the mound has ended. 6 straight balls to lead off the bottom of the ninth from Minier. First appearance of the season for Minier. There's a strike. So after that meeting, possibly calming him down a little bit, easing his nerves. Tosses a fastball in the outside corner, 2-1. Looked like Proctor was taking all the way, waiting for Minier to prove himself, prove that he could throw a strike. And the pitch. Swung on and popped up down the right field line. This one's going to go out of play, though. Knocked straight off of the French Hill. A couple of kids going out there and chasing that one. It's 2-2 now. On deck waits David Miranda, the lefty. Miranda, everybody knows, can do some damage. He is an RBI machine. So if you get a runner in scoring position, might be able to make something happen. Already with 1 RBI today, Miranda does. Drove in Proctor after that triple. Here Proctor pops this one up to shallow right field. And the Halos have it for out number 1. So now Miranda has to come up to bat and make something happen. First base coach Glenn Walker had a short talk with Gomez over at first. First pitch to Miranda, fastball up high, 1-0. Gomez has good speed, but down by only 3, and with the heart of the lineup coming up, don't want to risk anything, don't want to give away free outs. The 1-0 pitch to Miranda. Swung on and fouled straight back into the jungle. It's 1-1. Eric Wagaman, third base, move to left field. He waits on deck. Miranda 2 for 4 on the day. 2 singles. And the 1-1 pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. It's 1-2. Minier, a lefty with good speed. Not something you see a lot. Lefties are more known for their placement and junk. Minier, a very hard thrower, can reach 94. This is a shallow fly ball. Popped up on the infield. And the Halos have it once again for out number 2. That second baseman has got some good work in. 2 fly balls. Out there playing second base is Addison Pelopesi. He's listed as a right-handed pitcher. Can also hit a little bit. He's a 4th-year junior. He's not sure where he's going next year. So Wagman, last hope for the Riptide. Swung on and drilled into deep left field. But Rosenberg has it, and he's underneath it for out number 3. And that's the ball game. That's how the cookie crumbles. The Riptide can't take this one. 8-5, they fall to the Ventura Halos, who move to 4-1 on the year. The Riptide move to 1-3, and they look to bounce back tomorrow against the Conejo Oaks, who also came in today with a 3-1 record. We'll be right back with the game tomorrow. Broadcasting here, I'm Michael Oefling. Stay tuned for the post-game interview. Riptide fall 5-8. Thanks for watching.